Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hey, everybody. Good afternoon. It's me, and here I am. Imagine that, in a wonderful, sunny Wednesday. I'm so excited to be on the air. I'm so sad that I didn't get a chance to go on yesterday, unfortunately. Life and time and all those other wonderful things that go on. So I'm glad that both myself and Tamika are present. Just want to do a couple really super fast announcements before I get on the line with her. Really quick notice to everybody. We are in late submission period for my film festival. Again, it's artisalive.filmfestival.yolasite.com. You can also go ahead and visit me on Film Freeway, name again, Art is Alive Film Festival. We are still taking late submissions for web series, features, shorts, youth films, as well as screenplays. Youth films are always capped at $10. Screenplays are always capped at $20. And, of course, for all the other features, I've dropped the price down to $30. And why? Because you guys are submitting to like 80,000 festivals a year, right? So do check that out. Second of all, reminder to everybody in Milwaukee, we're going to be having my fundraiser for my film, the independent film I've written, and now I'm actually casting and doing. Oh, my God, so scared. Loves to a Mirror is the name of it. It's going to be located at New House Piano Workshop, located at 8111 West Greenfield Avenue. That's the day before Mother's Day, May 12th, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please stop out if you can. It's a bargain price of $5 for all sorts of entertainment, short films, workshops, you name it, we'll have it, and a surprise guest. So cross your fingers that he shows up. So please do so as far as that. The only other reminder I have is, sadly, as of a couple hours ago, I was informed that I am no longer going to New York City. So now I can't go to L.A. or New York, which means I'm here in Wisconsin. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm sad I can't see my loves in New York. I am happy that I get to take some time off and have a big old rummage sale. So if you folks are looking for stuff and I'm trying to get rid of it or trying to finance a film, come to my house, buy my junk. It's that simple. I'll keep you posted on that as far as that goes. The TV appearance that I was scheduled for tomorrow is being rescheduled, so I will keep you updated on that as we go along. So without further ado, you don't want to listen to me. Let's put Tamika on the line and talk to her.
Hi.
Tamika? Hi.
Yes,
we're both here.
here.
Yay, I'm so excited. I had to do all my
Me
business
too.
stuff there and get rid of all that. So I'm like, okay, and now I can't go to see you in LA and I can't go to New York, and now I'm stuck in Wisconsin. I'm kind of pouting on my couch right now. I'm like, so sad. Yeah, the TV segment had to be rescheduled, and then I'm like, do I really want to fly there? And now I'm like, great, now I'm too late as far as other stuff in LA. So you know how that is. You get caught between both. You're like, this kind of stinks.
Yes.
But here I am. I'm here and I'm present and we're doing this interview and I'm so excited. Oh my God, so much to ask you about. Okay, so we're going to talk, before we talk about Avengers for Autism, we're going to talk about Tamika because you're a person. So clearly you're not just the founder of an amazing organization, you're an actual person. So talk to me a bit about this because I see you have an extensive background working for the United States Department, the U.S. State Department. Now I want to talk about this because I'm like, did you wake up one morning and be like, yes, I want to work for the government? Because I'm always like, why does somebody want to work for the government? Is that weird? Like, seriously, why is she working for the government? So I have to ask you, why are you working for the government and for so long? What's up?
It's not weird at all, actually. I'm from Washington, D.C., born, raised, and moved to Prince George's County, Maryland. So a lot of people that I grew up around and their parents all pretty much worked in the government, no matter how big or small the agency was, and a lot of them still work in the government today. So just being from the D.C. area, that is just a really big thing that's a part of the culture because you have so many different government agencies there. So you're going to end up being in one of them one day, either by an internship or a fellowship, and I have been trying to get in since I was 16, and a lot of my friends were working in different government agencies in high school, and then they would keep their internships in college, and I was struggling to get one because so eventually I'm about to graduate Towson, get a phone call for an internship, and my internship landed me into a full-time job. Okay. So it wasn't something that I, woke up and said, I want to do this. It kind of just fell in my lap, and then I just continued with it. So far, I can't complain at all.
I was just going to say that's got to be an amazing kind of job in some regards, meaning kind of intriguing and interesting, and I'm thinking almost kind of creepy in some ways. Does that sound wrong?
Oh, no, I don't find my job creepy. I haven't had any personally creepy moments of my job, but it's been a thrill. I've got to travel. I've got to meet different people. I've got to learn so many different things. So honestly, I love the agency I work for, and I love the bureau that I work for. So I have no regrets.
That's awesome. I love that. Does that mean that you can tell me how I can get a hold of Cher's phone number? Because I've been trying to get Cher on my show for like 7 years, and I'm not getting anywhere. So I'm like, well, she works for the government. She's got to have like secret stash, right? Like, do you have her cell phone number? Or, like, do you have access to something really cool? I'm guessing, yeah.
I don't. That. I don't really have access to a lot. A lot of people think, oh, you work for the government. You must be a spy. You must do this.
I know, right?
And honestly, there's so many different agencies that do so many different things, and within those agencies, there's little bureaus that focus on different things. Within my agency, we have a bureau for the Secretary of State. We have a bureau for like education and cultural development. We have a bureau for financials and budget. Like, there's so many different entities and umbrellas under this huge organization. So everyone focuses on something different, but somehow we all interact with each other because a lot of different government agencies will partner with things depending on what's going on. And sometimes we even partner with private sector companies as well.
Ah, nice. Very nice, actually. And she's a smarty, folks, by the way. Not only does she have a degree from Townsend University, and she spent a year at the University of Maryland, and now she's getting her little University of Law in the fall. Okay, so this intrigues me because my brother is a lawyer, and I won't lie to you. I mean, yeah. There's that whole thing about first she's working for the government. Now she's working, I'm going to guess you're going to do something with this University of Law degree, and I'm thinking, yeah, there's another occupation where people are like, yeah, I love those lawyers. Yeah, maybe not so much. Right. So I'm asking, what's with you in this occupation thing? Like, do you want people to, like, be afraid of you or something? Because I'm like, this is a trend here I'm seeing, Tamika. Seriously, this is like a trend.
No, not at all. Actually, it's funny because I've always wanted to be a lawyer first, and I somehow ended up in government. So ever since I was little, my mom said that I argued too much. She was like, you should just be a lawyer. You find your way out of everything. So that's what I was pursuing in college, and I actually created my own major at Towson called Entertainment and Sports Law. So I took classes in marketing, public relations. I took legal studies classes. So I had a huge mix, and even sports management classes as well. So it was a very grueling process to get that approved, but I did it. I got it done, and I'm proud of it because nothing is harder than creating your own major and worrying if you're going to have a class to fit in every semester. That is the most stressful thing ever.
I believe it.
So after graduating and moving to LA, I was too busy with my new job to really put all my energy into pursuing law school. So now that I'm trying to switch over from civil service to foreign service, which means I would move abroad, I looked into universities that offer legal programs abroad to, learn more about international relations and also make myself more marketable because I wouldn't mind having a European law degree, and it also lets me come back to the States and get a master's in law to practice law in California because I can sit on the bar. So it gives me more options, and I'm the type of person who likes to have options because you never know where life is going to take you. I thought I was already going to be done law school, a sports agent, and that has completely switched. But it doesn't mean I don't want to do it. It just means that things go in different routes, and you just have to kind of go with the flow.
Oh, you betcha. Absolutely. The other thing that I thought was intriguing was you used to intern, of course, for Townsend Athletics, and, of course, more specifically the football thing. Now, she's probably going to hate me at this point because I'm sure you don't follow my show, which means you don't know that I complain about football constantly, and in particular, I'm doing a whole documentary on this. I'm like, seriously. So explain this to me as a female, for one. What compelled you in terms of the athletic side of things? And the only reason I say that is because we live in a world, sadly, and I think you might even agree, the CTE thing is a huge thing, and I have friends that are football players, and I've interviewed football players, and it scares me. I mean, anything really. I mean, I'm a huge proponent for athletics, but I'm here to tell you I have little boys at home who want to smash their skulls into other ones, and I'm like, dude, again with the whole, here you are going into another realm where it's like, yeah, are you sure that you're a girl? Because you're kind of sounding like a pseudo-spy, kind of a male sort of, I mean, right? I mean, listen to yourself. Listen to this background, folks. I'm like, seriously. So I'm just curious about, I'm going to guess that you're athletic to begin with, or that you had ties or some particular reason which drew you to the whole athletic thing.
So it started off when I was little and I was growing up, and every Sunday at my grandparents' house with my mom and my uncle was football. Like, we did not skip a Sunday or Monday or Thursday without football. Like, that was the main thing. It would be, we make dinner. My grandmother would make dinner. We would all watch the game, and my mom's favorite team is the Washington Redskins, and her second favorite team is Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's what made me a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So it was a huge thing, and still to this day, like, you would see my mom and I, like, screaming at the TV when football is on, and then my dad and my brother are, like, looking at us like we're crazy because we just get so into it. And I don't know why, but it's just something that I grew up on and I really loved, so then I wanted to continue it. And I always kind of wanted to play football, but because, I'm a girl, that is very rare unless you're like playing for the women's lingerie league or something, which is not something I would do personally.
Right. No, I hear
I don't knock
I get it,
but that's just not for me. But I
totally get it.
I did I did soccer, I was a cheerleader, I played basketball, I did track. So I wasn't like the best athlete in every sport, but I was the type of person that liked to try everything and see what I liked and move on and be like, hey, I did it, cool. But football has been the thing that has been consistent that I love the most, and still to this day. So when I got to Towson, I was like, I want to do sports. I want to manage athletes. Women in the agent industry in regards to NBA and NFL are underrepresented. It's very rare to find a woman sports agent or even women working in sports at the top levels. So I really wanted to get as much experience while I was at Towson, and working with the football team there was an eye-opener, and I had so much fun working with them, and the coach was amazing. And I honestly would go back tomorrow if I could to work with them because I had that much fun. Yes.
Really? That's awesome. I like that. Well, and the thing is, too,
helping playing games.
I get it. Well, and it's an interesting background because you've gone from where you are to becoming the founder of an organization, and that's super, super cool in terms of that stuff. Because where you started and where you are now are completely different things, which is awesome. And I'm glad to hear that. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, since we're on the radio here, is finding out about your status in terms of you're adorable, absolutely adorable. I've seen your picture. I've seen you dressed professionally. I've seen you dressed down. I've seen all this different stuff. So inquiring minds want to know, meaning people that follow my show, is she single? Is she taken? Does she have kids? Does she have 5 guys chasing after her? Probably because my friends want to hit on you. Yes, I said that on radio. So what's the story?
I am single, no kids.
She is. Oh, my gosh.
So,
I'm shocked.
I am available. Lately I just really haven't had time to really put myself out there,
I hear you.
with work.
Oh, no, I didn't.
And, trying to get stuff together for law school in the fall, and then trying to figure out this whole job change, and now doing this nonprofit. It's a lot. I mean,
Oh, I
women can
imagine
do
it
it all,
isn't.
but doses.
But it's a lot. And then try finding a person, because, of course, I'm single, too, as far as that goes. And I date, obviously, of course. It's tough, I think, because women that are superpowers, that's what I call us, people that are either involved with charities or PR or many multiple or things in general. It's tough to balance all that. And I have children, of course. So you have to try to have time for everything, and that's hard. And if they don't work in the same industry, that's really hard. I'm just surprised because I'm like, oh, she's so cute. You have to go look at her. I mean, folks, I'm telling you, she's cute. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I think you're cute. And obviously you work in this particular nonprofit. This is, obviously it can bring about a lot of challenges, meaning a lot of sadness, a lot of despair, a lot of frustration because the sort of individuals you're working for. There's a big difference between promoting something where people are completely healthy and happy and things are wonderful. And I imagine there's got to be some times where this is it's a frustrating endeavor for you, and it hits home because it's a family thing. So I wanted to ask, of course, when you have like 5 free minutes, which is what I'm guessing you have, which is usually what I have outside of child time, what do you do with all that downtime? Meaning, like, what do you enjoy doing? Do you even have time to do anything? Like, seriously.
Lately with Avengers for Autism, I haven't really had time to do much. But when I do have time to do anything, I like to sleep. And I am a huge, TV and movie junkie. I'll stay home and relax and, eat pizza or tacos or make something good that I love because I love cooking. And I'll just, binge watch a show or a couple of movies. And then if I want to, be social and go out, my friends in L.A., they're always throwing parties or brunches. So I'll go out to those, or I honestly, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love amusement parks. And so if anyone wants to go to the amusement park with me, I am so down.
Oh, my God, that is so awesome.
I know. I love roller coasters. I don't know why. It's just since I was a kid and I was tall enough to get on one, I was like, let's go. I would freak out at first, but I would be like, let's go again. But other than that, I love eating. I love eating out and going to restaurants and trying new dishes. And then my biggest thing that helps me, mentally and spiritually regroup is traveling. I don't mind traveling in a group, but sometimes traveling by yourself is so fulfilling. And you get to learn about other cultures and put yourself in a different atmosphere and just observe and learn and adapt. And that's something I really love to do because I'm first born American in my family. My mom's from England. Her parents are from Jamaica. So I've always been really intrigued in learning about different cultures, and they've always taught me the importance of respecting other people's cultures and also traveling and learning and, educating yourself.
Nice. Very nice. I like that. So she's well-rounded. So, folks, if you want to approach her for a date, remember, she may or may not be a spy. She may or may not be currently that athletic because she's too busy, but take her on a roller coaster and she'll love you forever. I got that. Note to self, just in case I meet anybody who's interested. Now, there's a lot of ground to cover this. So let's backtrack a little bit, of course, because I know Pieces of Me, and by the way, folks, that's the name of our organization, Pieces of Me, Inc., was started almost about a year ago. And obviously, I know your focus is primarily on both teens and young adults. And this is, of course, inspired by your absolutely wonderful brother, which I've been on your site and I've seen some things. So I want to start off at the very beginning and talking a little bit about your brother. Obviously, his diagnosis occurred in 2004. So tell us a bit about his story and how that kind of transpired into eventually taking on the realm of, or taking the helm, I should say, of Pieces of Me and organizing this.
Okay, so my brother was diagnosed in 2004, like you said, and for the longest time, my parents didn't know, why he wasn't talking. He wasn't really social. He was very quiet. He would make noises, but he wouldn't talk, so they, took him to a couple of doctors and took him to speech therapy, and then that's when they found out, hey, he has autism spectrum disorder. So my parents had to put him in speech therapy to get him to start talking and opening up and expressing himself and telling us what he wants, and that was really hard seeing all of us go through that because, you know, we didn't know what to do at all. So after, you know, him getting a little bit older and going to different schools, my brother has been put out of maybe 3 or 4 schools.
Wow.
It's been hard. He had the police called on him, I think in like 2nd or 3rd grade. He had threw tables or chairs. He would come home with notes and then like a scratch on his face from, you know, just being a danger to himself because of his outbursts. And when those occur, you kind of just have to get them to calm down because the strength that people with autism have when they are having a moment is remarkable. My brother goes from like normal to the Hulk in like 2 seconds. And I'm like, where did this adrenaline come from? But it was really hard because as we were trying to figure out and understand him more and also adjust things and educate other people and even our family members about his disorder, he would still have problems in school. So, you know, every time there was a problem, my parents would have to put him in a different school. And it got to the point where it was really bad in college, when I was in college. And sometimes I would have to email my teacher and say, hey, I have to go pick up my brother from school. Like, he got kicked out of class again, or, you know, something is going on. And I have to go from Houston to 45 minutes to Bowie, Maryland. And it was hard because my parents had to rely on me, too, if they couldn't get to him. So there was one time where it was really bad, and we had to admit him into a psych ward. And that's like the 2nd time in my life I've seen my dad cry. And I'm not a super emotional person, so I just felt like emotionally numb, and I was just worried. But at the same time, I was like, I'm down the street. If anything happens, I'm the quickest and the closest person here to see him and to help him, to bring him anything. And that was really hard on us because that was the point where we were like, what do we do? Like, we don't want to leave him in here. He has so much potential, but at the same time, he's hurting himself and he's also hurting others. And we didn't want that to happen because, you know, when teachers try to help him, like, he's wrestling with them and stuff like that. So that's why we had to admit him. And he was there for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And when he came out, he was a lot better. If you ask him today, he will tell you, like, he thought it was fun, which my brother's 18 now. But that occurred maybe like 5 to 6 years ago. But that was probably one of the hardest moments my dad has ever gone through. And then once my parents moved from Maryland to Houston because of my mom's job, my mom was with my brother alone. So my dad was still in Maryland working, and sometimes my brother would have outbursts. And my brother's taller than my mom and bigger than my mom. So, you know, it's hard for her to control him, and she would get scared because it's like, what do I do? Like, your father is so many miles away, and I don't know what to do. And my dad eventually moved down, but it got to the point where I was in Dubai for my 25th birthday, and my mom's, like, calling me stressed out and she sends me pictures, and she's like, I don't know what's going on with your brother. I said one thing, and he just flipped. And she sends me pictures of broken glass everywhere, a hole in the wall, the printer is broken, the remote is broken, her figurines that my mom collects Thomas Blackshear figurines, and she's been collecting them since the 90s. One that she's had for maybe 10 to 15 years, broken all over the floor. And she just had to lock herself in her room because she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. They had to
Wow.
call the police, and it's hard, especially when you have that type of disorder or even other disorders that makes your brain react in different ways. And you have to you don't want to really call the police on your own child or sibling, but sometimes you just need extra assistance. But you also there has to be an understanding with law enforcement that, like, you can't just put handcuffs on them because that makes them react even more. We are calling you to help us calm him down. And if we need to take him to the hospital or psych, that is why you are here. But putting them in handcuffs is not what you should do because that just makes it worse. So now, my brother's doing so much better. He took himself off his medication because he was really determined to, because his medication wasn't allowing him to sleep. So he was like, he told his psychiatrist, I'm getting off of this. I don't care what you say. I need to sleep. And now my brother's 18. He's about to graduate high school. He asked me to go to prom with him next month, so I'll be flying to Texas to go to prom with him. And he graduates in June, so I can't wait to see what he wants to do next. He's going to start community college in the fall, so we're excited for him, and we're just happy that, he's found a way to cope within himself to calm and control his emotions. And he reads a lot. And I'll say one thing. People with autism, no matter if they're verbal or nonverbal, they have some extraordinary gifts. My brother has almost a photogenic memory, and his vocabulary is sharp. He reads the dictionary, so I'm just like, wow, you might actually be smarter than me. I've been in private school my entire life. So, to see me go through private school for so many years, and then my brother's been in private school maybe 1 year and then public school the rest, and be involved in a certain program to cater towards his needs, and to see him try to go above and beyond just the basic curriculum is astonishing. So
I believe that. I do.
I just want him to keep it up.
Well, of course, obviously. And I want to address this issue because, of course, I, as a parent, my son, who's now almost 14, was a seizure patient for 3.5 years. So I kind of know what it's like in terms of being the family member and watching another family member going through things. So I have to ask the obvious question, which is, to those that might be listening in who have family members that are currently living through this or currently struggling through their way through this, what advice would you give them as being a former family member and continuing on in terms of being a family member who has autism in the family? How do you cope with this? Or what would you tell folks? Give them 1 or 2 tips in terms of what can help them get through this, because I imagine it's heart-wrenching and hard and frustrating and just sad sometimes.
Yeah. I definitely would say love and patience, top 2. Easiest things. Make sure you shower and cater love to them. Sometimes it's just a small thing to just show that you care or you're there to help them, and patience. Because when they have outbursts, you're going to get frustrated, but you have to let them just work it out themselves. But you also have to make sure that they don't harm themselves. So it's definitely a balance. So I would definitely say shower them in love, and your patience will definitely help as well. And there's a lot of people who work with kids on the spectrum or are very new to working with kids or having kids on the spectrum, and they start to find a new respect for parents who have kids with autism. And also you learn a whole different side of patience that you didn't even think you would have.
No, I believe that, definitely.
It's remarkable.
Also, the other thing I wanted to mention is, too, clearly, that sometimes, of course, I notice that, and this could be just my situation with the seizure patients, and maybe it could be the same with autism, meaning that oftentimes I notice that parents and caregivers sometimes feel like they're the only person in the room who are understanding this, meaning they feel isolated or they feel as though your situation is sold to you. And in fact, I'm just curious, did you guys have a great support system? Did you talk to other families and reach out prior to the nonprofit, that is, just combining yourself with like minds and like situations in a means to try to cope?
Well, we didn't really know of anyone specifically that to talk to. Well, I did have one friend from middle school. Her brother has autism, actually. But I don't know if my parents really spoke deeply to her parents about, what to do and stuff like that. I think they went off of trying to kind of figure it out for themselves to see what worked for them and us as a family, and for my brother Timothy as well, and also just trying out different doctors. So the support system was definitely within ourselves, and then also within our family. Like, my mom's side of the family is really close, and my grandmother is a retired nurse, so she knows how to be patient with all types of people, so she would definitely help. And there's been some times where he has had outbursts in front of her, and she's, like, really Jamaican to the point, like, certain things you don't do around her. And one time he probably said the worst curse word you could ever think of, and, like, the whole room just got silent. And my heart dropped because I was like, oh, my gosh, if this was me, I would probably be dead right now.
Oh, right. No, I get it.
But my grandmother just knows, and she's like, Timothy, come on, we're gonna take a walk, and you need to calm down. And so she just took him outside, and they went to walk around the block, and then he came back, and he was fine. So having a support system within your own family is very important. And if you have friends that understand what you're going through, or if you share with friends, this is kind of like the first time I'm sharing with the world that my brother has autism and speaking about my experiences. A few of my friends knew that my brother had autism, but a lot of people really still to this day don't really know what it is. And then some people be like, oh, your brother seems normal. I mean, yes, he's normal. He's still a person, but he just has an extra gift to him. That's what I like to call it. He has an extra superpower that we don't have.
I was just going to say, autism in and of itself, meaning that is, we view it as a superpower, meaning in that we call them superheroes. And, of course, I totally identify with that label. I mean, that's a very loving label, to tell you the truth, because I think empowering an individual with any disorder, period, whatsoever, is always the number one course of action, because I think oftentimes whatever disability or disorder or whatever it's labeled as such, people oftentimes don't always see the positive to it. It's always more so, I mean, you hear cancer and you think, oh my God, you know what I mean? And the more that you hear of a debilitating, something that's debilitating to someone, people always tend to turn to the negative. So I like the fact that Pieces of Me has gone ahead and said, you know what, we want to empower instead of engage in the darkness. We want to keep them in a positive and push them forward, which is absolutely awesome. I think, number one, that's to be commended more than I can tell you. Number two, I love the fact that she has what she does, the superhero of the month. And what is the rationale behind that? Because it seems like such a simplistic thing, but in reality it's really not. Because giving a sizable award of any type, and it's not just a title in this regard, is huge in the mindset and mentality of someone with autism, is it not?
Yes, it is. Because a lot of times, especially when they're getting older, and I feel like that's why I focus more on teens and young adults, because everyone focuses so much on the children that they forget that those teenage years are very important, regardless if you have autism or not. That's what helps shape you to your next step. And that's when you really have to understand the different personality changes that's going to come, and understand what to do. And I wanted to do Superhero of the Month to give a light and a platform for anyone who has autism to express whatever they want on my website, as long as it's positive. If it could be a video, it could be a poem, it could just be facts about me and a picture. But I wanted them to have a platform to show who they are and show that just because I have autism doesn't mean I'm not able to do the same things you do.
Right.
And I want them to know that there are people like me out there that love them and are willing to help them in any given way, and to help push their voices and help them get the recognition that they deserve. Because
That's
no
awesome.
matter what, disorder, race, gender, what have you, inclusion matters. And that is very important, especially with people with disabilities, because just like us, we want to work and, have careers and have a 401k. So do they. But it doesn't help when we don't take time to understand their needs. And it shouldn't just be that we're just tolerating them. It should be that we're accepting them and we're willing and open to help them. And sometimes you just have to put things in a different way.
Right.
For them.
I agree with you.
And, they all think differently.
Oh, I agree with you, definitely, without a doubt. And you've also launched the Book of the Month, because I was perusing and I happened to notice that you have. Now, do you feature a different book every month, and are these books specific to autism, or is it people that are autistic that are producing them and you're putting them on there?
So, book, I let my brother pick it, and
nice.
He was recommended that book by his teacher in Houston, and he started reading it, and he was like, this is a great book for people to learn about autism, the good, the bad, what have you. And he was like, so that should definitely be the Book of the Month. But we don't have any particular say. The book doesn't have to be about autism or Asperger's or anything autism related. It could be anything that the general public is reading. Because sometimes my brother reads all types of stuff, and he'll love it. Like sometimes he reads stuff about how to gain social mobility, and sometimes how to control your emotions, how to control your feelings and mental health. So I let him kind of pick whatever he wants to do, because at the same time, this is our family. This is a family organization, and I want him to be very hands-on with everything, and he is. I put him to work because he likes to stay busy, and he wants to learn how to multitask. So sometimes I have to, scold him a little bit to just say, hey, Timothy, make sure you get this done. The way you're working is good, but let's adjust it or scale back. And he started to more listen to what I say instead of brushing me off. So it just takes patience.
Of course. Absolutely. I also noticed that one of the things that she's got on the website, which is awesome, you've done an array of different events, actually. And I noticed there was a theme here, because you do the back to school, you do Halloween, you do Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. It's like you structure everything around particular holidays. And is this done on purpose in terms of helping patients to understand organization and centering themselves and focusing themselves around particular dates? Or is that just something you prefer to do because it's a holiday? I'm just curious.
It's just something I prefer to do, because I feel like those are the months that there's always something to do. But I was like, we need to do consistent programs and events to not only cater to people on the spectrum, but also get their families involved as well. But I also, through these events, want to teach them that it's okay to give back as well and teach them other things. And we're really big on teaching social skills, life skills, because at the end of the day, they want to learn how to interact with other people as well, because sometimes everyone's social cues are different, no matter who you are. Sometimes people will read all of your emotion, and sometimes people won't even know you have an emotion going on. But it takes time and interaction with everyone for them to figure that out. But I also wanted to make sure that I was doing something for them, and it wasn't just me doing something in Autism Awareness Month. I wanted to make sure that it was consistent and also give a couple breaks for myself and also families, you know, during the holiday season, transitioning back into school from break, and also during the summer. So in all, like, it just kind of just came to me, just looking at the calendar, and I'm like, okay, I like this, and I just kind of played with the names and came up with a different concept of what to do.
Very cool. As a matter of fact, she has something she does from May to August. It's called Shades and Lemonade. I'm like, I have to ask her what that is. Shades and Lemonade. And it only goes on so many. What is that? What's happening with this?
Okay, so between May to August is Shades and Lemonade, and that's kind of like, it's summertime, you know. You like your fresh squeezed lemonade, your sunglasses, the beach. So I wanted once a month, I came up with the idea to do something different to take them out into the public, or just to cater to people with autism and their families. Either go to a movie, or go to a museum, have a beach day, go to an amusement park. Something fun, just because it's summertime and, you know, no one wants to stay in the house all summer. So I just wanted to do something that would get them involved, even if it's on, like, the weekday or weekend. And the cool thing about that is it's open. I'm open to any ideas. So whatever they want to do, and it's just three of us going, well, all three of us will pick up and go to whatever museum you want to go to. So it doesn't matter how many people or how small or big the amount is. I'm up for whatever they want to do, because at the end of the day, they want to feel a part of the world as well, and not feel like, I feel like I'm a burden, or I feel like I need even more accommodation to accommodate you instead of you accommodating me. So I just was willing to give back.
That's so sweet, as a matter of fact. And speaking of giving back, so here we are, and then I happened to find her. We are both happen to be, I think we're both in the same PR page, as a matter of fact, on social media. And I happened to come across this Avengers for Autism event that she has structured. Obviously, most of you already know it's Autism Awareness Month in April. And so she has put together and pulled together 3 different states and 3 different places to do the screening of the Avengers Infinity War movie. Why did that catch my attention? Well, Tamika may not know this, but in my head, my fantasy husband is Thor. I have an obsession with Thor, as a matter of fact. So the minute I saw Avengers, I was like, dude, I am totally on top of this, right? And she was so lovely to answer me. We've been going back and forth, and I was like, how can I help? What's cool is, number one, she's in L.A., Washington, and Texas having the same screenings at the same time, meaning Tamika's not all at the same place. Washington has a screening. Obviously, Houston is being hosted by your brother, and L.A., of course, being hosted by, I wanted to mention Foriza. We should talk about them. Foriza is a different organization, correct?
Yes, so they are another small nonprofit organization like us, and they dedicate their mission to children with autism in lower income areas.
Okay.
And so they focus more on children, while I focus more on, like, the teens and the college students and graduating college. So
now I did. Go ahead. I'm sorry, dear.
I ended up partnering with them, and we just kind of hit it off. I spoke to the founder of Rampton, and he was just so excited with everything I was doing. He was like, let's do something together. And I was like, hey, I'm already doing this Avengers for Autism.
Right.
I'm trying to raise money to send kids with autism, or not even just kids, people with autism, because anyone of any age can have autism, and send them to see Avengers Infinity War during opening weekend in a sensory-friendly environment. So, you know, dim lights, sound down, because I researched and I'm like, they don't offer that many sensory-friendly things to accommodate people. Because sometimes even my eyes, I sleep in the dark and I work in the dark, so my eyes are very sensitive to light. So sometimes even for me, I'm like, I need the light down a little bit more. But I saw that, and once I saw Marvel push the movie up, I literally worked as soon as possible to put all this together. I was like, I don't have much time, but let me see what I can do, because I was panicking. I was like, they didn't give me enough time to do this. I could have started this in January if I would have known. But sometimes you just have to do what you have to do if you believe in your mission and getting it done.
I agree with you. Exactly. A girl's got to do what a girl has to do and step up and do what you have to do. No, I was looking just yesterday or the day before, and I noticed before I put my foot in my mouth. Now, I do know that at least one of the events was sold out. So at this point in time, if somebody was listening in and they have a child that wanted to participate, are they able to get in any of the states before I put my foot in my mouth, for one?
So Houston is oversold.
Okay.
We
I
actually had to accommodate a family of 4, and I couldn't say no because one of the kids is celebrating his birthday, and I love birthdays. So I was like, Mom, Dad, please, let's figure something out. So we figured it out, and my parents were like, we'll just give up our seats, it's fine. And my mom's not a big comic book movie person anyway, so she was like, I don't care. Like, they can have my seats, that's fine. So we made it work, and so Houston is definitely oversold. Oversold.
Okay. I got
Maryland, we definitely can accommodate a couple more guests if they send me an email to info@piecesofmeinc.org. In LA, we have a couple more seats too, but not a lot. We just had to close off the RSVPs for the kids and the families just so we didn't go over the seating amount.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right, because you have to think about those sort of things, as a matter of fact. Because I know that the
we had to do
LA
theater
event is
buyout.
well, right, of course. At the Regal LA Live, I know that, because it said the doors were opening at 11:45, and of course the screening doesn't start until 12:45, but they have the photo booth there, etc., and other things. So you obviously won't be bored, and you get an opportunity to meet tons and tons of families, obviously, because this is literally geared specifically to kids and their families, and they can enjoy it in a comfort, meaning literally accommodating their needs, sensory needs and physical needs, etc., which is amazing, absolutely amazing, as a matter of fact. I also want to note, folks, because I just checked yesterday on the GoFundMe account, because I know you had established a GoFundMe with a deadline of tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And at that point, you were a little, I think you were still seeking $1,500 or $1,600 as we stand right now. So how close are you to your designated goal? Because you're running out of time, obviously. So we want to talk about that. If you can't go, you can donate.
We surpassed our goal. So we have surpassed our goal by $150, and we're still receiving donations. So, yes, if you would like, please continue to donate so hopefully we can find another area to bring this event to, because I've got so much interest from other parents saying, we would love to do this in Australia or London, Pittsburgh, Vegas. And I was like, I don't know if I have enough money for that. But
you want to try, because there's kids everywhere.
I want to try, because a lot of teachers and parents have reached out to me and said, thank you so much for doing this. Like, you do not understand how much this means to me and my child, because someone is doing, not just saying, here are resources, but actually doing the work to assist and help and accommodate their kids and give back to them and recognize them. And that's what I wanted to do. So that's why, instead of calling April in our organization Autism Awareness Month, we call it Superheroes Unite. Because they're superheroes. And I was like, yes, they have autism, but they're superheroes. And we need to acknowledge that and they deserve the world and more.
I agree.
It's amazing. And I've been watching so many documentaries, and I saw one kid, he had like every capital of every country and state memorized. Some of the countries he named, I didn't even know what countries. And I work for the state.
Oh, my gosh.
So.
Wow. That is so wild. Look at that. Oh, my gosh.
That's
now,
amazing.
Before I forget to mention this, because I don't want to, folks, if you happen to be listening in today and you get a chance to go to her website, because I'm about to say all the various ways you can find this lovely lady, you'll see all the different programs that are listed. She's got the Power Zone area, which is dedicated to the tutoring and writing component. She's got the I Can Do It Too, which is, of course, deals with the life skills and careers and mental health and social skills and dating, etc. On the art side of the fence, we have music, we have art, we have food, TVs, movies. We even have Timothy's Corner, which is awesome because, of course, that obviously is your brother's area, and, of course, all the listed events that are coming up, as a matter of fact. Tamika, I'd like to read off a bunch of different places where folks can find you because I want to make sure that they're able to do so. Her name is, of course, Tamika, and the last name is Faulkner. It's spelled Faulkner. She is, of course, the founder of Pieces of Me Incorporated. She can be found on LinkedIn as well as on Facebook. The organization itself has a website, www.piecesofmeinc.org. The same name is on Facebook, as well as on Twitter and Instagram. It's Pieces of Me ORG. And, of course, if you want to get tickets, I know that you can find them on you're listed on Eventbrite. Do you have tickets available off the website? I don't think you do, right? It's all through Eventbrite?
Actually, no. Instead of Eventbrite, it's through Splashback. So if you go on our page, you can get tickets through Splashback, or you can just send me an email.
Gotcha. Wonderful. And just so you folks know, before I forget to mention also, 2 hours after this show has just been on, because we've been on almost an hour, can you believe it? This time just goes like nothing. I'm like, literally, I come on the air and then all of a sudden I look and I'm like, oh my God, we're at an hour, and it's like they're about to cut me off, which is crazy because I could talk all day. 2 hours after this show is done, it gets archived, and I'll send over to you a copy of the Blog Talk Radio link, and then I upload it to my YouTube channel, so it'll be on there as well, as far as that goes. And so you'll have that. And, of course, to those that are listening in, I write for free various publications, as we all know. So what will happen is after Tamika's event, she'll get a hold of me, and then I'll put a lovely write-up together, an article in print, and I'll send it off to all my various publications as well. And so that'll be in print so that you guys can read about it after the fact. So what I want to say to you, young lady, is, number one, thank you for such a lovely invitation to come. I wish that I was coming to L.A. I'm disappointed. My children are ecstatic, by the way, because the minute they heard I was going to do this, they were like, really? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no. So Mommy gets to see Avengers with her children in Wisconsin on Tuesday, so I can wait. But thank you. She was gracious enough to offer to allow myself and a guest to come, and I wish that I was able to attend because I did want to just take in the environment and just take in the joy and the excitement all of these families are having. So I'm sad that I'm missing that. Number two, in case anyone hasn't reminded you lately, you have a wonderful campaign and a wonderful mission. And to those many, many families, I know I speak for them when I say the superhero here isn't just them, it's you. You're devoting your time, your energies, your efforts, and your love to these families, and you should be commended for that. And I guarantee you that will happen in my article as well. Number three, know that my platform is available to you 24/7. You can come back on my show anytime you want. You can come and you can knock on my door and say, hey, let's cover this. I would love to be able to collaborate in the future and do something because, of course, my nephew is autistic as well, and I have many friends who have the same plight that your family does. So I would love to have us collaborate on something, without a doubt, as a matter of fact. And, in fact, we should talk about my film festival at another point when I'm not running out the door, you're not running out the door. But I do want to wish you great success, and I do want to say thank you for being patient and waiting to get on my show. I appreciate it. And like I said, my door is open. I'll follow up with you sometime later today since I'm stuck in Wisconsin. But I'm crossing my fingers that all you and your families have great success on Sunday. Really, good luck. Knock it out of the park. I'm so proud of you. It's awesome. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming by.
I really appreciate it. Let's do this
definitely.
Again. This is fun.
Without a doubt, it is fun, isn't it? And it's such a great platform. And I'm like, oh, my God, you come on here. You have no idea that 64,000 people are listening. It's like I hopefully gave you a nice domicile for your wonderful mission. And like I said, I'll be in touch. I'll send everything over to you, and good luck. And keep me posted because we'll have to talk after the fact.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Anytime, dear.
From you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, honey. Have a good day. Bye.
You too.
Tell me she wasn't fabulous, right? Again, her name is Tamika Faulkner. It's Faulkner, founder of Pieces of Me, Inc. And again, the website is www.piecesofmeinc.org. She herself is on Facebook and LinkedIn. And as far as social media, it's Facebook, Pieces of Me, Inc. And on Instagram and Twitter, it's piecesofme.org. Again, if you guys are in the area, and that's obviously not Houston, is sold out. But if you can get to LA, it's at the Regal LA Live. The doors open at 11:45 a.m. and the actual screening's at 12:45. She also said there's limited seats available at the Washington screening, which is located at the Bowtie Cinemas. Go ahead and look that up online to get your tickets, and please support her efforts. It's called the Avengers for Autism screening event of Avengers Infinity War this weekend, and that, of course, being on Sunday. So if you can check it out, please go ahead and do so. Some of my friends will be in LA checking it out. Please go ahead and spend some time checking out our website, piecesofmeinc.org. If you can volunteer or donate it, we greatly appreciate it. Because I'm in Wisconsin, I will be on air one more time, and that's this coming Friday, and I am fortunate enough to be hosting Charles Barber, and he is a local Milwaukee musician. He is also contributing music to my film, Loves to a Mirror. So please go ahead and check us out one more time this week on Friday afternoon. Thanks so much to everybody for listening in this afternoon. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you on Friday. Take care.